Cool. I'm just gonna run through how to set up a titration. Okay. So we're gonna need a couple of these flasks. We're gonna need 3 of these little beakers, our methyl orange, okay, our distilled water, all right, a burette, a pipette, a little one of these squeezy bottles that is empty, okay, and then you've already made your stock solution. We have our unknown. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is grab my beakers. Okay, I'm going to label 1 acid, okay, 1 base, and 1 water. Okay, now first thing I want to do is I can rinse all 3 of these just with some make sure that lid's on properly. All right. This is annoying. Make sure that lid's on properly. Okay. Spread those around. Just want to make sure we rinse all of those down with water. Put those in the sink. Okay. Then we can get our water one and we can fill that up with water. Okay. So make sure we got the right one. Put water in there. All right. Then, all right, our base. All right, we take a little bit of our stock solution here, pour that in there, swirl it all about, okay, try and get all it off the sides. All right, so that way we make sure that we're not diluting our stock solution at all, because what's in there is going to be extremely close to the concentration of that because we rinsed it with that. Okay, then do the same with our big boy here of acid. Pour that. Oops, that's our rinse. My bad. All right, and then we top that. Oh, making a mess. This is not the easiest thing to tip out of. Luckily, okay, I have made quite a weak solution of acid, and I have my paper towels. Okay, let's tidy up my mess. Cool beans. Okay, so now we've got our 3 solutions labeled, containers labeled, so we don't mix them up because they're all right. They all look exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, so I got to make sure I label them so I know what's what. Okay, next thing I want to do is clean out my burette. So I've got this horizontal, okay, vertical, and then just so I don't make a mess, I'm going to take my funnel, pop it in the top, take my distilled water and run it all around, and you'll see that it starts hopefully coming out the bottom there. I'm just going to let that drain out. That's my water there, all draining out. And I wait for that to go all the way down. Okay, next I'm gonna grab my acid because I want to rinse this burette out with acid. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit in there. I don't have to pour heaps. And again, I'm just gonna let that run through into my waste container here. So let that run. Okay, this way, making sure that when I put my sample of acid in there, it's not going to be diluted in any way. So that runs through there. Okay. So once that's all run through, I close this, all right? Now it's in the horizontal position. Take my acid and I'm going to fill up my burette. All right. Now, it's hard to see on the video, but there's going to be a little air bubble trapped in here. So I'm just going to open this up. We're still with my waste container until that air bubbles are all gone. And then I'm going to close that off. All right. And then I can take this and tip it down the sink. Okay. And then I take my distilled water, rinse this out with distilled water. All right. Might do that 1 or 2 times, make sure it's nice and clean. All right, cool. And then I can pop that ready to go. Okay, next up I have my pipette. I'm going to take my water, take my squeezy bottle. All right, I'm going to pop that in there, squeezy bottle on top, and I'm going to suck up some water. Okay, pop my thumb on top. All right, gonna tip this over. All right, take my thumb off, rock a bit back and forth. All right, and then empty that in the sink. All right, nicely rinse with water. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my base. All right. Gonna grab my squeezy bottle again, pop that in my base, squeeze up, pop my thumb on there. All right, again, rinse it all about, make sure that it was all coated, tip that out. Okay, now I am ready to begin. So I take my squeezy bottle, pop that in my base, suck it up, and there's a little line up here that I want to fill it past. So there we go. Okay, so my liquid's up here, my line is here. Now very carefully, I adjust my thumb, so I let the tiniest amount of air in, and I drop that down until the bottom of the meniscus touches the line. Perfect. Now take that, keep my thumb on there, touch it to the side of my flask and let it run down. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that run. Right, and so now I have exactly 10 mils of my known solution. So I can work out, all right, I go 10 divided by 1,000 times 0.1, and that will tell me how many moles of this that I have. Okay, so now I know exactly what's in there. I use a little bit of water just to rinse down the sides. Okay, now I'm gonna add my methyl orange here. All right, give it a good squirt and you can see it's a nice orange color. I'm gonna put it on a white piece of paper. Okay, so that just helps me see the color, okay, a little bit better, so I'll be able to better see the change. Now I just want to drop my burette down so that any splashes are going to be contained inside the conical flask. All right, use a conical flask instead of a beaker because it's harder for stuff to splash out of it. All right, make sure my funnel is no longer on the top of my thing, and then I'm going to take my initial reading. Okay, so it's 16. You can't quite see on the camera, but 16.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's between 6 and 7. All right, I didn't do that on purpose. All right, so it's going to be 16 16.65, and I want to write that down. I'm just going to write it down on my paper, but you have it on your land book. 16.65. So we're measuring to the nearest 0.05 of a mil. Yeah, so all your readings should end up on point something 0 or point something 5. Okay, now I know, okay, as it said, I'll rewrite this, all right, that this hydrochloric acid is approximately 0.01 mole per liter, okay? And I know that this is 0.1 mole per liter. This is 0.1 mole per liter because I measured out exactly how many moles I put in there, okay? So I'm at 16. I'm going to run down to 26, a little bit less than 26, but because I'm going to think that this is about a 1-to-1 ratio, so 10 mils to 10 mils. So I'm going to run to just before 10 mils. So look on here, all right, I'm looking 26 is just out of camera shot here. So I'm going to open this up and let it run, and I'm going to watch it come down. All right, you can see it running in. I'm going to watch it come down to 26. And I'm going to stop it there. Okay, now swirl this around. Okay, swirly, swirly, swirly. All right. Okay, now, all right, might want to grab some of my distilled water here, and I could just rinse this down a little bit. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to want to use 2 hands, okay, because we don't want to flex this too much because it'll break. We're going to open this up, all right, and we're going to let it drip. So it takes a little bit of precision, but now it's dripping away there. Now I'm just going to swirl, let it drip, and as it's hard to see on the camera, but you'll notice that each drip, all right, as it drips, it turns pink. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to swirl and let it drip and swirl. It's just dripping nice and slowly. And I'm looking, all right, it's going to change from this orange color to a nice pink color. Okay, now you can see that it has changed color. Okay, now we stop, we look, okay, and I have 30. So I have quite a bit more than I expected. So might want to do this again, but okay, I have 38.10. So write down 38.10. Okay, and so now I would go 38.10 minus 16.85, and that would give me my final reading. Then what you can do is, quite often what chemists do is they keep this one, okay, because this is my comparison, and then I would clean this out, all right, distilled water, pipette in my new mount, drop in, and I would do it until I could get a matching color. That way I know that I'm about right, and then next time I would put in, what are we, yeah, like 20 mils, and then go from there, because I'm about, yeah, like 20 mils from start to finish, just over, so then I could just drop it in that way. Cool. If you have any questions, ask me in class. Otherwise, hopefully this will help you set up. Bye-bye for now.